rolling around? Are you happy, not happy? What's going on?
Yeah, I've been pretty frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. You know, everything that has transpired up until this point has just been disappointing and frustrating. You know, I've wanted to continue my career here. I've created my life here. You know, my wife and I have bought our first home here, so this has been somewhere where I've always wanted to be. And you know, just to see how things have played out has been disappointing. Obviously, I understand everything's a business, but at the same time, like, you know, I want to put myself in a position where, you know, I'm valued and, you know, I feel appreciated and things like that. And, you know, unfortunately, that hasn't transpired the way I wanted to. So, you know, I'm just trying to take things day by day.
Terry, what needs to happen next to get this thing back on track?
Well, I think, you know, there has to be some active discussions, you know what I mean? Like I said, we haven't talked in over a month, and obviously with camp around the corner, like, it's becoming a little bit of crunch time. And, you know, obviously you want to be in a position where you're building to what we did last year, and Jaden and I continue to build along with the offense. And that was the thing, like, before I took a step back, it was, things were going great on the field, and you know, the connection and the offense and the energy was just amazing. And so to see where it was then and where it's at now is definitely disappointing. So I don't necessarily know what happens next, but without any progressive discussions, it's kind of hard to see how I step on the field.
Damn! Well, if you're a Washington Commanders fan, this is probably the last thing that you wanted to hear in regards to Terry McLaurin's contract extension, as he voices his frustration with the lack of communication with the Washington Commanders in regards to a new contract. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries? Like,
stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on with the video where we're going to be talking about Terry McLaurin, as he just spoke to the media for the first time in a long time, and it's not a so promising update that we wish we were hearing. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. On the road to 11,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you, man. Today is July 15th, and I don't know if I know a little bit something or what, but I told y'all July 15th was a time where I was gonna start to somewhat panic, you know, that Terry McLaurin's deal wasn't done, if it was not done by that time. And look at it, it's today, and the deal was not done, and Terry McLaurin spoke out to the media in regards to that. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I feel like Terry definitely, you can see some emotion on his face, but I'm calling cap though. Not calling cap that Terry McLaurin's deal isn't done and he doesn't feel a way. I'm calling cap into what exactly was being said, and that's simply because he's following orders, man. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do in terms of going out, speaking to the national media, and, you know, kind of sounding sad and, you know, trying to basically air out his side and say, hey, what's going on to the Washington Commanders. But this is what every agent and every contract back and forth does. He talks about him not feeling valued. He's talking about how bad he wants to be here. It's to put the press on the Washington Commanders so they can act and give him the money that he wants and he deserves. Terry McLaurin for sure deserves his money. He for sure may feel away. But the point is that I'm making this video about and trying to get a lot of people to understand to kind of relax. And this is coming from somebody that said that they were going to panic if the deal wasn't done by today. This is how it all goes, right? Terry says he hasn't heard from the organization in a month. Dan Quinn just came out a couple weeks ago and said that he's been in constant communication with Terry McLaurin within this whole entire offseason. Now I get it. Dan Quinn isn't directly impacted, and has an impact on his contract. That's Adam Peters and company, but I'm sure in them conversations and in them times that Dan Quinn and Terry's talking, they're talking about the contract, or they're talking about him getting signed, getting the money he deserves. Like, that's why I just feel like this is going to get done. It hasn't been drawn out for sure. With Garrett Wilson getting his contract extension, does that maybe rise the price up a little bit more? Maybe, but it's just hard for me to envision Terry McLaurin not being a Washington Commander. Now, what's a little bit more damaging for me than him being signed is the fact that he spoke and said that he and Jaden Daniels were building, a chemistry, and the offense was building a chemistry before he stepped away. And the biggest thing that I think and I spoke to this yesterday, that I said that's going to hurt the most than him not being signed right now, is the fact that he may continue to hold out. And that can eventually affect the preseason training camp chemistry that they could be building, and eventually affect us come week 1 versus the Giants. That's my biggest concern, and that's why I do think Washington needs to act fast, is because you got to think about it, man. Terry has been away for a while. Yes, he's probably been training and staying in football shape, but it's nothing like getting around.
As you guys know, your man Juangotti's computer has officially broke. So if you guys want to help donate towards a new one, feel free. Link down below in the description.
Your teammates and preparing in these times with your quarterback. That, have they had throwing sessions? Probably. That we probably won't know. You know what I'm saying? But this is the proper time. Like, rookies report Friday. The vets report next week. And if this bleeds into the start of training camp, that's where my concern truly lies. It doesn't lie on will Terry McLaurin get his contract extension or not. That, in my opinion, is still going to happen. It's the fact of when and how fast is it going to happen, so it doesn't affect training camp and preseason and those required and proper reps that you need to take in order to be prepared come the regular season. That's where my concern truly lies, and that's where Terry McLaurin, said that he kind of lies at as well. It's like he doesn't know if he does not get a contract extension done soon, he doesn't know when he'll see the field, which means he's alluding to he's taking this to the extreme. If he doesn't get extended soon, he's taking it to the extreme of, if I have to hold out training camp, I'm doing it. If I have to hold out preseason, I'm doing it. If I have to hold on to the regular season, God forbid I don't, I'm doing it. So the fines and all the other things that may come with it, I'm willing to take that to get what I deserve. And that's the thing that I don't want to happen. It's for Terry to be missing valuable time. He's already missed a lot of time already as it is, but not training camp. It's a difference in between and missing mandatory minis, but we're talking training camp, the last step before the season. So although I do feel like this is cap in a sense in terms of Terry McLaurin speaking out, and I think he's speaking from his agent prepped him before he went out there. Hey, say this, do this, move like this, feel like this, so he can get the media the attention that they need, and try to get Washington to bite through the media. But where I do feel him and feel like the truth and what could end up hurting Washington if they don't act soon is him missing the valuable time. At this point, the contract extension, I think, still will get done. It's just when and how fast or how long will it take. The thought of Terry not being a Washington Commander has never crossed my mind throughout this whole entire process. And it probably won't ever cross my mind. In fact, until we see something that is that damaging to the fact where it says Washington is now entertaining trade talks for Terry McLaurin. Until I see something like that, my heart rate is leveled, because I still think Terry McLaurin will be a Washington Commander. I still think this organization values him, although he spoke to the media today and said he does not necessarily feel valued and he doesn't feel, wanted and whatnot. I think this organization knows that if they want to win championships, if they want to be competitive for the now and the future, they have to get 17 under contract. He's a big reason as to why they were successful last year. It's hard for me to envision Terry McLaurin not being here. It's hard for me to envision the fact and the thought process of you trading for Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil and making these draft picks and the offensive line protection for what? To lose Terry McLaurin? No, you did not do that. So if this front office is in fact moving how Terry McLaurin is saying, which again, I don't think they are, but if they are moving how he's saying they are moving, that is damning to see from an organization that we felt was taking the proper steps moving forward. This is some Dan Snyder-ish, movement. If this is in fact true, again, your man Juan Gotti does not believe it is. I think this is agent speaking. I think they're going to get a deal done, but just playing devil's advocate for a second, if this is in fact true, this is some Dan Snyder-ish, man. Like, you don't move like this with a player that you feel is one of your better players and you feel deserves to be rewarded for his contribution and commitment to this team. So they have to get something done, man. I think the next deadline, even though today was the deadline for me, as Sauce Gardner just got extended as well, the next deadline for me, man, is by the time Veterans Report, bro. Veterans Report, that following, I want to say, is it the 21st, 22nd, one of those days? Probably that Monday. Like, they have until Veterans Report. So this whole week, they have to get something done. And this media propaganda, this media scrum probably ignites that, and seeing all these other players get paid probably ignites that, and him being NVA, DMV area, that probably speeds up the process. But camp is right around the corner, so we have no more time to BS about this. We have, and I mean have, to get a contract done. So that being said, you heard from Terry McLaurin for the first time in a long time. Not the most promising thing you wanted to hear. I personally feel like something will get done. I do think Terry may be a little bit emotionally involved, but for the most part, I think it's agent speak. It's cap. It's through his agent. And I do think something will eventually get done. But what says you out there? Leave it down below in the comment section. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington Commanders on the road to 11,000 subscribers. If you were able to donate to the GoFundMe to help, me raise enough money to get a new computer, that would be great. You can donate if you're in a position to help out. Thank you so much. You have a blessed one. Stay safe. That link is down below in the description. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a laundry.